Just testing real quick that we have some audio, and then we'll get started. Sounds like audio is in check. Awesome. Okay, cool. Hey friends, how are you doing tonight? Who do we got on the chat so far? Introduce yourselves. Yeah, do me a favor. If you're just joining the live stream, go ahead, put your handle in the chat. Love to see who's joining us tonight. Cool. Gabby, how you doing? Good evening. How's everything going? Your work that you posted and shared with me on my Instagram was absolutely phenomenal. Excellent job. It's so good to see everybody's artwork. I know Ronnie and just a lot of folks sharing a lot of great work, and it was just great to see. And really appreciated everybody sharing their artwork. It's just it was just really cool. Okay, here. Okie dokie. We're doing good. Everybody doing good? Okay. How am I doing? Gabby's asking, everything's great. Thank you. How are you doing? It's been a long day. I started at early this morning, about a little bit before, a little after 5 o'clock this morning, and got done, a little bit earlier this afternoon. But these days have been long. But I really enjoy taking the time to hang out with you guys and do these live streams, and I just want to stay consistent in terms of what I'm doing right now and sort of how we're working these out. If there's anybody else in the chat right now, please introduce yourself. I'd like to know who's on the chat, and we're going to get started here in a second. Cool. Gabby, I look forward to seeing your artwork once you get everything settled up and posted from tonight's session. It's exciting to see, so very, very cool. Okay. Well, cool. Let's get started. My name is Paul Angeli. I'm a live action storyboard artist. I've been putting together these jam sessions. I think I'm just going to call them the Storyboard Jam Sessions. Everybody's been having a good time with these jam sessions, and it's sort of a time that you can you at home can break out your pens, pencils, your stylus, your markers, get your digital work going. And Parad is there. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy you could join us tonight. So again, just everybody grab those instruments, those tools that you love to draw with. You're welcome to just draw on copy paper, draw in your sketchbook, draw digitally, whatever works for you. If you're catching this on the replay, my name is Paul Angeli. I'm a live action storyboard artist, and I've created these jam sessions to hang out with great talented folks out there, across the world, and sort of share what I do in my journey, and share my process of how I create storyboards, and hopefully you can get some value out of these lessons. And I know quite a few of you have, and enjoy participating and having all the participation during the live stream. So if we don't get a chance, or you don't get a chance to watch the live stream, I remember Adam from Great Britain on Tuesday, was able to watch the replay, said hello to everybody. So again, hello everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. You're having a great week. It's Thursday. I'm just trying to stay consistent in terms of these jam sessions and sort of the live sessions in general. I'll probably have some fun this week. I think you guys let me know in the chat if this is something you like to do. I don't know if you're enjoying these. Halloween is this next coming Tuesday on the 31st here in the United States. I know different folks around the world have different customs. Dia de los Muertos in South America, Mexico. Everybody has a little bit different way of celebrating the Day of the Dead. And over here in the United States, we celebrate with Halloween, and it's a tradition that folks do over here, and kids go trick or treating. My children are older, but when they were young, we would take them out trick or treating. They wear their Halloween costumes and have fun trick or treating door to door, getting little candies and things like that. From the neighborhood to the neighbors that we all know. And anyway, so tonight I was thinking about you guys put it in the chat. We have I was talking about Halloween. I was gonna do a live stream on Saturday, and then also another one on Tuesday, the 31st. And I don't know if you like these horror genre. We had a good time on Tuesday. We talked about vampires and vampire movies, and we talked about jump scares and building suspense in a scene and having fun with that. So if that's something that you'd like to do, I have a few more ideas of what we can be doing in terms of sort of Halloween horror focused. Nothing grotesque or anything like that. Something that's for everybody. And but we'll have some fun with it. I have a couple more things if we want to do a couple more jam sessions. Then we get into other genres and have some fun. I'll probably go back to some of the live streams in terms of more of the tutorial style, where we're talking about filmmaking, storyboarding, and how to do that. So drop it in the chat if you're enjoying these sort of Halloween horror type of live streams here. So today, it's funny. I had a whole plan of what I wanted to do tonight, and I might save that one for either Saturday or on Tuesday on Halloween itself. But my wife was talking to me. She came to visit me at lunch today, and she says, "Hey, listen, how about talking about the tale of Sleepy Hollow?" And I said, "Oh, that's sort of cool, And so she gave me a great idea, and I said, "Okay, let's play with this and see where we can go." I think there's a lot of different things that we could work on drawing besides our visual storytelling and storyboarding today. You have some more animals to draw and things like that. We'll be drawing horses and sort of fun stuff, and I got some breakdowns for you guys if that's one of the those things that you need to work on in your portfolio is drawing animals and things like that. Think of creatures of the night besides horses, tarantulas, ravens, all those sort of owls, creatures of the night. So very cool, very cool. So again, we're tonight with our jam session. We're going to be focused on the tale of Sleepy Hollow. Okay, and I don't know if you've seen films about Sleepy Hollow, and it's the main feature of Sleepy Hollow is in the American folklore version is between a school teacher called, his name was Ichabod Crane, and the Headless Horseman, and we're sort of going to play with that, and I guess different parts of the world have different variations of the Headless Horseman. So let's get into it a little bit, and I did a little research to share with you guys about the topic of Sleepy Hollow, and where is Sleepy Hollow? Where what is that? Where is that area? I know it's close by to me over here in Pennsylvania. It's up in the New York area is where Sleepy Hollow is, and when the story of Sleepy Hollow was written in the late the early 1820s, it was that sort of it was a glen, a hollow area, very superstitious ghosts and spirits and things like that type of area. But let's talk about the myth of the character, or the folklore tale around the about the Headless Horseman, the character itself. It's a mythical character. I don't believe it's a real character, but it's a mythical character, and a lot of cultures use it in their folklore tales around the world. And the idea of this headless warrior, headless horseman, came up during since the Middle Ages, and so it's usually as when we show the headless horseman, or you see an image of it or an illustration. It's sort of like what I show here on the screen. It's usually shown as a rider on a horseback, and the horseback rider has no head, and the sort of the theory of it is, or the storyline of it is, that it's in search of its head for completion, and that's sort of the MacGuffin, is like, where is the headless horseman's head? Where is that? Maybe that's something we'll play with in our storyboards today. Uh, Other cultures, in Ireland, I believe it's Doulahan, in Ireland, they sort of have the headless horseman as a demonic fairy, and this demonic fairy carries the head underneath his arm as he's riding, and what ends up happening is, I guess the way the folklore in Ireland is that he has the headless horseman has a whip that's a human spine, and psh, psh, you know, and I guess when the rider stops and that's when people will perish, is when the rider stops, or if the rider calls out the name of the potential victim, and that's the end of that victim at that point in time. In other areas, I know in Great Britain, it's more of a night type of scenario. In English tales, Sir Gawain, the Green Knight, that's another folklore tale too. So we see the headless horseman in all different types of things, and then like I said before, the story that I'm used to, it sort of came around in the 1820s. It was an American short story called Sleepy Hollow, and it was written by Washington Irving in 1820. And this is where the Ichabod Crane, the school teacher, and the headless horseman, and all the storyline comes into this play. And Sleepy Hollow was a settlement, a Dutch settlement in New York, in the New York area, and I guess this area had a lot of ghosts, and that haunting sort of atmosphere with that area, and you see that depicted in movies and films and cartoons and illustrations and things like that. Walt Disney got his hands on this storyline and this story. So in 1949, Walt Disney created an animated film featuring the Sleepy Hollow storyline, so in 1949, the team of animators and fantastic artists created The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, and that was the first time we saw a lot of this. I know I go back to my childhood and seeing this for the first time, lots of singing and song and dance and beautiful colors. I know Mary Blair did a lot of the production design. If you haven't seen the late Mary Blair's work, absolutely fantastic work. So, and it was a really spooky tale for a Disney show. And that came out, like I said, in 1949. Then we've seen other things, since 49. I remember hearing a lot about, the Headless Horseman and things like that. I used to watch a series. I was a little bit older, but it came out in 1975. It was Kolchak. I don't know if there's a series of, I believe his name is Gavin McGrady. It was Kolchak, the Night Stalker series. It was a television series. And there was one called Chopper. And instead of the Headless Horseman being on a horse, he was on a metal horse. He was on a motorcycle. And it was a headless rider on a motorcycle, taking out members of a motorcycle gang, which is sort of interesting. And then, I would say in 1999, Tim Burton came out with a film called Sleepy Hollow. And Sleepy Hollow itself, it became a feature film. And Tim did a fantastic job with this film. It had that Tim Burton goth look to it. It was absolutely fantastic. And it starred Christopher Walken and he played the Headless Horseman. The infamous Johnny Depp played Ichabod Crane, and Christina Ricci was in that movie too. So that was really a cool movie. Here's a fun fact as we're talking about movie facts and things like that. So so when you're doing a movie, you have stuntmen and stunt women working in the film. So whenever the character, when he was in human form, the Headless Horseman, was played by Christopher Walken. And when all the stunt work and sword work and that stuff was played by the infamous Ray Park. And if you are a big Star Wars fan, Ray Park was Darth Maul in the actual prequel series. So there's a little bit of what do you call it, movie trivia as we're talking and having a good time talking together. So, but everybody's doing good tonight. That's good. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight, is about the story of Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. So I'm just going to sort of go on the fly with this, and we're going to have some fun drawing these characters and have some fun tonight. So I appreciate again everybody joining me. I got I got Gabby joining us, Barat's joining us. I did have Ronnie reached out earlier and said that couldn't make it tonight. So hopefully we can see Ronnie in the replay. So hi, Ronnie, in the replay, and we'll get along with that. Hopefully next time we can all get together. I know everybody's prepping too. I know a lot of folks are going down to Pasadena for the Lightbox Expo. Maybe one of these years I'll be able to get over there. I'd love to. It's always great to meet people face to face and say hello, and it's always different than this virtual sort of setting. And but it's always great to meet people, and it's fun. So I hope you're going to get some great information out of this. I think I've passed along a little bit of history about the Headless Horseman and the tale of the Sleepy Hollow, and I'm sort of going to play off the 1920 story version written by Washington Irving. So we're going to play with that sort of scenario. Again, if you're getting some value out of these live streams, I sincerely would appreciate if you would subscribe. When you subscribe, it lets me know, as the creator of the jam sessions, that you like the material that you're seeing. I enjoy being having fun with everybody on the live chat. I wish I could see everybody's faces. Maybe down the way we were talking about Discord or a Zoom type call or something like that to have some fun with this. And I sincerely appreciate everybody who's subscribed. It looks like right now we're almost at, let me just see if it's updated or anything like that. Let me see here. We're literally almost 260 people. It's amazing, having fun with everybody. And, will help this channel grow. This is a budding channel, so I really sincerely appreciate everybody taking the time to hang out with me, watch our videos or watch them on the replay. Please don't forget to drop me a comment. Please drop me a comment. I love hearing people's feedback of what you like, how we can improve this budding YouTube channel with all of your support. Also, a lot of folks are reaching out via DM and etc. on Instagram. So I thank everybody for doing that too. It feels great to give back, and to hopefully these lessons are helping you out. So if it's helping you, please throw it in the chat. Let me know that it's been helping you. I appreciate that. So, and again, please don't forget to subscribe, and ask, if you have a friend or somebody who's interested in visual storytelling, whether it be for live action storyboards, feature animation, a serialized cartoon, comics, music videos, all these different actions that you would use visual storytelling. Please share my link and my channel with other folks. I think it helps the channel itself, and it helps us to grow here, but also I want to just make sure we're giving out some great value to everybody. And we got a little bit of sprinkling of everything, from visual storytelling to drawing. We're going to go over some drawing skills today, and what we're trying to do with storytelling. So again, thanks for everybody joining. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's get out of this screen here of the Headless Horseman. We have our page here. Good. Barat says it's really, really helping. That's great to hear. Thank you so much. Uh, I did a couple little studies here um, of horses, and we're going to be. I thought I'd be just. I try to mix it up every week or every lesson. I don't know if you want to call these lessons or jam sessions. So I really wanted to talk about drawing horses and things like that, and so, some little tips and tricks and stuff like that, how to make it simple. And remember, when we're storyboarding, we're just trying to get that image down, and here, let me go back to this other page here. We just want to get that panel down. We want to get that image down. Thanks so much, Gabby. I really appreciate that. Gabby said, thanks a lot. Your videos and live streams are amazing. They're helping me a lot as well. And you know what's interesting, folks, is every time I see your artwork that you're sharing with me online on my Instagram feed, it's just amazing to see. And I just wanted to make sure, maybe for future live streams, if you good folks, I'll reach out to you or DM you or something, and if you'd like to have your images, if it's okay with you, I could put it on the live stream. I'd be happy to show your work that you've been doing. Gabby had some fantastic work. There's a lot of folks with some, Ronnie's every episode or every live stream we've done has produced some great work. Barat, getting all sorts of feedback from different people. And if you'd like to have me share it, you can either reach out for me in DM or reach out to you, and I'd be happy to put it on the live stream and stuff. So when other folks are seeing, they can see your work too. And of course, I give you credit for your work. Just absolutely fantastic to see. So thanks for submitting it to me and show me all that work. Andreas, how you doing? Good to see you. It's been helping me for sure, adding to my process. Yeah, anything I could do to help with your process is great. So like we were talking about just real quick, when we're drawing, friends, let me get this down a little bit. And I'm drawing my frame. I just want to get this information down. Let me get rid of this real quick. Try this one more time. We want to get that information down as fast as we can. Let's get a layer up here. Thicken this line up a little bit. And so when we're boarding, we want to get those panels down as fast as we can. And we talked about a couple other tips and tricks on our last live stream. And we want to move quick, when we're doing these things. This isn't working. So we have the images here. We want to work quick, and so we don't need to have fancy detailed drawings. And how we've said before, even if you just have a simple stick person that you want to use, that's there, or if you get a little bit more complicated, you want to keep it simple so you can work quick. And you think of, and it doesn't really matter how, of course you want to have great drawing skills, you want perspective and composition, and how to draw. I think one of the big things when we're talking about drawing is make sure you got your sketchbook with you. Make sure you're sketching all the time. We've talked about it every single live stream, and I see a lot of you sharing your sketches with me and stuff like that. You got to draw every day. If you're going to become a storyboard artist, or a comic artist or animator or whatever, you got to be drawing every single day. This isn't a once in a while type of job. You're drawing every day. And the way I draw today is I'm always exploring. I'm always looking at new artists that inspire me. And sometimes I look at their styles and go, well, I sort of like how they did that. Let me put that in my repertoire, and I build it into my muscle memory of how I draw, and I can't stress that enough. You guys should be filling up sketchbooks just like crazy. Just like whenever you get a free chance, you're having a coffee or a tea or a beverage somewhere, and sit down and draw the people that are sitting around the coffee house. If you're sitting there having lunch, draw the people in the lunchroom at work, wherever you might be. You're out and taking a walk. Bring your sketchbook with you. Sit on the side of a bench or something, and draw the surroundings. Draw the water. Draw the trees. Draw whatever animals you see. I'm very fortunate out here in Pennsylvania. It's fall right now, so it looks like we're out of some sort of Halloween movie right now with the fall colors. It's absolutely gorgeous outside during the day. We had a warm 75 degree day today. It's been getting cold, but these last couple days have been pretty warm days, and I enjoy it because before all the snow comes. Um, Gabby asked, I wanted to ask, how can I practice values and tones? I struggle with that. Ha ha ha. Okay. Maybe we can do a little quick thing, Gabby, and I'll show you what I sort of do. When I'm boarding, so let's just talk about so again, sketch as much as you can. If there's artists that you love, copy their work. Not that you're going to use that as your own work, but utilize that to learn. How are they moving their pen, their pencil? How are they getting that thickness? A lot of folks, they're finishing up participating in Inktober, and from Jake Parker's Inktober series, where every 31 days of ink drawings. You got to practice every day. Have those excuses for yourself to practice. Even for me, you can't really see it right now. Even for our lectures, and sort of our live streams, I'll sit there and I'll sort of work out all my thinking before we sit down and have our live stream, so I'm prepared for you. And I've already practiced sort of what I'm going to be drawing today a little bit. So that puts it in my repertoire of thinking outside of the box. So when you're drawing, like we were talking about, you keep it sort of simple. Yeah, you can, as you're learning to draw, then you can get it more complicated in terms of what you're doing here. And, you could have some fun with it. Oh, my pen is a little slow here. And you can have some fun with your drawings. I have all sort of tips and tricks and things like that I do to draw. And you could do sort of a little bit fancier drawings, in terms of your boards that you're doing. So Gabby real quick asked, made a comment about tones and values. When I'm drawing, a little tip for you. Okay, so you have your basic lines. Okay, so those are my lines. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll either use the opacity on the layers for what I'm doing, or I'll just get in there, and I'll usually work with a few different colors. I keep it sort of simple. When I come to tones, I don't have too many. I'll keep it pretty simple. I'll have my black. I might have a 50% gray. Then I might have like a 25% gray. And then of course, I'll just have my white. And those are the tones that I'll use. So to give you a quick drawing to show you how I would do that is, let's just go back over here. Let's just say I have my picture playing, my picture box here. Let's create a new layer. Okay, so this is our panel here. Okay, and let's say we draw some sort of character in here. We'll draw a female character in here. But my computer is sluggish today. Okay, so let's just say I have my character's right there. Okay, so that's my line art. Okay, and then I'll have another layer behind that character, and maybe I'll go grab that color picker, grab my gray color there, and maybe that's the color of my character. Okay, I'll grab my background color. I'll put it in there like that. And then I can go and just have some fun with my black. Maybe just have some highlights. Have some earrings on her. But you sort of got the idea of and that's a simple way to use some tones and you know, have some fun with it. Let's just say in front of this character, let's do a rack focus real quick. So maybe there's a character that she's talking to that's right here. So that character's right here. There's their ear. And they're talking to her. Maybe we get back. Maybe she was looking over his way. And she was looking over in this character's direction. And then what you can do is just grab this. And we're just going to blur this. And then there we go. We have a shot there with a rack focus in terms of what you're doing. I hope that helps, Gabby, to show you what we're doing here. And simple, using some simple tones to what you're doing. So something like this I wouldn't necessarily call this the thumbnail. Maybe once you get an approval of what you're doing and then you're going into a rough, maybe this is more of your rough stage in terms of what you're doing. At times I'm already thinking in color and tone as I'm going and creating my boards. I hope this gives you a hand there of giving you some ideas of how to do that. Okay, cool. You are welcome, Gabby. I hope everybody's having a good time. Take a sip of my coffee here. It is currently 12:20 a.m. in the morning. We're just going to keep going strong, my friends. Nothing like a cup of coffee in the morning. Okay. So let's get this party started. Okay. Okay. So we're going to talk now. Make sure I got everything lined up here. Move this over just a tad bit. Boom. Boom. Let's move this over here. Okay. So we're talking right now. We're talking Ichabod Crane, and we're talking the Headless Horseman, and we're talking Sleepy Hollow. So let's get into our topic for tonight, and let's talk about drawing horses. I don't know how everybody is for drawing horses, so I took a picture of one of my quick pencil sketches I did before our live stream hanging out. And I thought I'd just talk about drawing horses. And let me add a layer in here. In terms of what we're doing here, let me see if this works, if we can lighten this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Gives you an idea. Let's use a crazy color, maybe like a strong blue. Okay, so usually, you know, and we were talking about drawing horses, or drawing simplifying. Okay, and I don't really care how well you draw. It's about getting the idea down. Of course, if you want to become a professional, yeah, you need to know how to draw. You need to know your perspective. You need to know composition. You need to know everything. But for right now, if you're just trying to tell a story, and all you can do is draw a horse like this. You know, that's enough storytelling. You know what I mean? If I know this is a horse, you know, whether it be have the saddle on it, I know this icon is a horse, okay, and it's a happy horse. So if that's all you can draw, that's great, you know, because all you're trying to do is communicate through visual storytelling of what you're doing. Let's just say, you know, also too, you can just draw with icons. If you can just get close to that horse, let's move this horse over a little bit. And if that's all you can do, that's powerful right there. Okay, you don't need all these complicated things. If you know how to draw the basic silhouette of something, you can go far. You know it's a horse. Here's some hay for your horse. You know, you can do a lot. There's not a lot to it, you know. In our last broadcast, our last live stream, we were been talking about if all you needed to do is use a thicker brush to try to figure out what a horse looks like. And you're drawing a circle here, and the legs for your horse, and then you could go in and do all the detail. You know, if that's all you can draw, that's absolutely fantastic. You don't need to be a Michelangelo or a Da Vinci of drawing horses. All you're trying to do is show that image and that people understand what you're doing. So almost like playing Pictionary. Uh, uh, Telephone. Okay, got it. Of what we're doing. Oh, that's a cell phone, or that's a telephone pole, or that's a car. Um, you just have those simple forms of drawing. I wanted to go a little bit deeper with you friends tonight to sort of talk about some basic structures of horses and sort of how to draw them a little bit. So let's draw that, because we're going to need to know how to draw a horse for our horseman. Okay, so I have sort of a front profile picture that I did, and I sort of have this the side here, and there's all different ways people draw horses. There's plenty of things online. You know, when you're sort of thinking, I'm thinking of a horse. I'm thinking of three different shapes real quick. So 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking of the circle for the belly, and I'm sort of this side here. I'm sort of I draw a straight line. I'm gonna think of the rump of the horse right there, And I sort of think of a triangle here, and that sort of goes up. Okay, so these the main shapes that I'm thinking of when I'm drawing your basic anatomy of drawing a horse. We'll just get these different colors here, and so you can sort of see what I'm doing here. Okay, let's get a red in here. So if you think of shapes, that's all I'm doing. And this, I hope this it's a little bit different than what we've been talking about. We're just talking about storyboarding, but you need to know how to draw in terms of what we're doing here. This shape here, you can sort of see this. You got the idea of what we're doing here. And then you could add on the extra layers of it, how we see below. So, but just to give you an example, this is what I'm talking about, these three shapes. These three shapes, this blue, orange, and green shape. Once you have that, the rest sort of falls into play as you're drawing a horse. And you can see from this example that I have here, is I'll do that and I'll grab those colors and we'll do the same type of thing here. So let me grab those colors one more time and show you how I drew this horse. So here I have that stomach of the horse, right? Be a circle or oval. Okay, I use that blue color here to sort of slice it. Boop. There's the rump of the horse. Okay, I use that green color again. Draw an interesting triangle here. Okay. Don't do it like that. I'll grab that red color. You can sort of see, we're using the shapes to build that silhouette of our horse, because our either Ichabod Crane or the horse itself. Need to be able to draw that horse. Okay. And then here we'll grab let's grab that blue color again. So with this shape here, that I have here, that shape, what I'll do is I'll keep it down. If you think about it, here you go. Here's your horse's rest of the leg and the hoof, right? Okay. And the same thing goes with this green, the foreleg of the horse. I'll start it there. And there's that foreleg of the horse, right? We have our mouth, our nostril, the jaw will come down. We have the ears of the horse here. And then you can sort of use that shape like this of the mane of the horse, right? There's the mane, we have our tail. We have our horse right there. So there's a simple drawing practice of how to draw a horse. Okay, so I hope this helps. Yell it out on the chat if this is helping you out. I know we're doing a little something different here. I thought I'd throw in a little drawing exercise as we get going into our storyboards too. Okay, so with that in mind, let's look at the other area of drawing our horse too. Let me zoom in here. Let's look at the horse's head. Okay, and if you're looking straight on at the horse, there's some basic shapes that we can look at too. We can look at I'm going to layer in here, sort of a circle here, a line down the center, circle, that sort of simple lines, okay? And then from there, we can build our horse around that. Okay, so using that theory of the horse, let's go ahead and grab that white again and go from there, okay? So here I'll have the nostrils of the horse, okay? I'll have the lip here. You can just sort of see, I'll just create those shapes. Yeah, Gabby was saying, thanks, helps a lot and reminds me to practice more animals. This is really fun. Cool. I'm glad this is helping you out. Okay. So, and then you can sort of get the nose here like this. Okay. And then for the eyes, you have that horse's eyes here. The horse and the brow. And that's where, like, looking at the skull, if you've ever seen a skull of a horse, makes the orbital socket there. If you look at it, it's like there's our horse, like boom. Here's the lower mouth. Bring this down a little bit. And out of these basic shapes, you can sort of see where the blue lines now became purple, but you get the idea. Of our horse, so we actually have a horse now. You could add the mane, or however we're looking. So I hope this gives you an idea, and you can just go in there and change your color. You can get your blacks in there now. And you got what you're looking at, you know. And now you have your simple horse drawing that we just did. Now you can really just go to town with this, you know. If I was drawing this horse, I could add some different sharp angles with it. Because if the Headless Horseman's riding this horse, he's going to obviously have a black horse. That's going to be a mean looking horse. You got the idea of what we're doing here. Now we could always have fun with them a little. And then now Gabby was talking about our tones and things like that. Now this is the time that you can start. Playing with your tones. In terms of what we're doing. And let's add another tone in there too. The hair goes all the way down. You'd have some fun with this, you know, and if you want to, we can noodle this thing all day. He has a bit in his mouth. So you sort of got where we're going with it. And I hope this helps a little bit. So yeah, take the time, friends. You know, practice those drawings. Practice those horse drawings of what you're doing. So I hope this little exercise gave you a hand. I had one more horse that I drew up here. We can show you what I did here too. So here's another horse at a different angle real quick. In terms of what I was doing here. And trying to get a cool little stylized horse here. So we're just going to draw him in black. this down a little bit. Maybe the horse for the Headless Horseman's a mean horse. It's a fancy bridle on the horse. We're just going to town on horses right now. Get that crazy mane going. Oops. And you sort of get the idea as we're drawing that Headless Horseman. And a little tone. Gabby was talking about simple tones. We always get more complicated, and sometimes I'll draw like this too. So say I just throw another layer in there, and this you're like, oh Paul, you got it all black. Hey, no worries. Just drop the opacity on this particular character. There we go. Now we gotta. Now we got a horse suited for our Headless Horseman. As you go down, and then you could either do that or even have it a little darker. Oops, I like that a little better. You could add one more tone there. And if you can even have fun, maybe the horse itself has some sort of demonic eyes. He's got the sizzle from the nose. And you could have some fun with it. Okay, that gives you a good idea of playing around with our horse. So again, if you're getting some great value out of this, please drop a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe and share this content with other folks that could get some use out of it. So there's a basic tutorial like we were just talking about. We were talking about our horses. We have a couple different profile pictures of the side profile and a front profile of our horse here. And then at the same time we had that. we talked about the basics of just drawing some basic shapes, your icons, real quick. You don't need to be a fancy artist. This is all you can draw. That's perfect. As long as you have the silhouette of what we're trying to do. And then we talked about, real quick on the recap, then we talked about the basic shapes to draw a horse on profile or on the side profile. And here's that little example of the horse here that we're talking about. Okay. And then we talked about the front profile of our horse, using those basic shapes of circles and lines to create that horse again. And then we drop the outline on it. And then we added some more to it. So you had a horse there. So I hope that helps you out a little bit, gives you a little bit of tutorial of how to draw horses and that type of information. So I hope this helped you out for our little lesson here. Okay, let me throw this on there. Horse. Cool. We'll get that saved now. Good. Awesome. So let's get back. Let's start storyboarding this story. Let's have some fun with this, friends. I hope you're drawing at home. I'm excited to see what your horse drawings look like. Can't wait to see them. So please share them. I'm looking super forward to it. Okay. Let's make sure everything is running good in the background and we're rocking and rolling here. Do a quick little update here. Okay, friends, let's board. Let's board on. Okay, so we have our picture frame that we have set up. Everything we draw is in a picture frame. I'll change it up in future live streams, but let's get drawing, okay? So I'm just going to start whittling off some stuff here. Let me just see here. I was going to have some fun with this. We want to... how are we going to do this? Okay. When you're doing storyboards, here's a couple tips for you. When you're doing storyboards, you're usually working off a script, okay? So, and that script can either be a script that you're getting from the director, the art director, whoever might be your client. You're going to get a script, okay? And in the future episodes or future live streams, I'm going to talk about the shot list, how to break that script into a shot list, and then go ahead and create your boards from there. I know my buddy Eric Yamamoto has some great steps that he started off on his YouTube channel, talking about shot lists and how he breaks down a script. Everybody does it a little bit differently, and so everybody has a different style. I think I forgot who was talking about it, but everybody has a little bit different style of how they break down their storyboards and or break down the script to create the shots. And you can watch some of the other live streams we've done on the perfect shot, camera angles, movement of camera, composition of your camera, if you need a little bit of help with that. So check out that live stream list of the different live streams to help you with that perspective or those different shots. But what we're doing right now is we're just sort of having fun and going on the fly of drawing. So let's get into this. I'm going to go ahead and have my first panel up here. And one of the things I like doing, I think we did it on Tuesday, but I want to, maybe on this one, we're just, maybe it might be a shot where it's a pedestal shot, and we're just tracking that camera down, and cool, awesome. So Barat saw Eric's session. That was great. I'm glad you joined up. Eric's a really good guy, and yeah, give him a little bit of love over there. I know he works hard on his videos, and I know he's got some great interviews over there. But I thought he broke down the shot list very well when he first started his very first series he was doing. And right now he's doing this where he's writing a horror story and then going and breaking that down into his storyboards. And he has some great practices. Please do check him out. I think he's got some great stuff, a lot of information. Like I said, every story artist does things a little bit different, and I think he has some great knowledge to share with you folks. So please check out his channel. Okay, so I'm sort of thinking about this shot right now, and I'm just going to sort of lay it out real quick. I'm going to use a little bit lighter gray, not necessarily a black. And I, I was looking at a lot of castles and things like that, and so I'm sort of looking at. So if I have this is my picture frame 1 up on top, picture frame number 2, and I'm going to do just move the camera from the highest point and just drop that camera down. There's no angle to that we're not going to expose it. We could expose something, maybe we'll do that in the next shot, but I'm just sort of looking as the camera's gliding down the screen. So, and I sort of like, what can we do with that? I'm going to use a little bit thicker brush because we want to get this stuff going. Okay, so let me just think outside. I'm thinking that there's a area here. It's just like here. Okay, and I just sort of, I had this sort of cool idea where it was just, and when I'm drawing, I'm just thinking of shapes. Keep it simple. Shapes of what you're doing. And that's why when I'm drawing and stuff, I'm thinking of markers. I use markers because they cover a greater area in terms of what you're doing. So if you think about this, what I'm trying to create here is I'm trying to create. There's a series of the castle here, or wherever we're going, and sort of this is there's a waterfall here, and the waterfall is falling, and you have the other. You see the water falling. I had this sort of like just interesting shot. So we're just we're just playing around with this right now. It's sort of sketchy. I think what I'll do is I'll get a little bit thicker brush here, and just sort of like let's draw this out a little bit. Got the buildings. In terms of the environment. Of what we're doing here. You see a lot of concept artists do this type of work, and it's just quickly, you're just sketching this stuff out. What do the walls look like? We're just trying to give the essence of what we're doing. I was thinking of that Dark Knight Return, or the Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan, as Batman was training, and I think is done a Ra Al Ghul. And so I was sort of thinking that why can't we have this cool little city, or the village or whatever, it's on this area here. It's on a cliff face. Okay, so you sort of got the idea of what we're trying to do. And this is where composition and everything, you got the water flowing. And all we're doing is getting this shot ready to go. And the water's flowing. Let me get there. Create a layer in here. So a lot of, when you're storyboarding, a lot of this is thinking. You're always thinking, how can I tell a good story. We're talking establishing shots. We're talking, we want to establish the environment. We're talking about if we're building something fantastic, we're building this world. What does this world look like? And we do that. We do that through when you're establishing the world, you're thinking of those extra wide angle shots, okay, and that's what you're doing with it. And when we're trying to world create, so if I'm doing this is sort of a little bit of a fantasy world, so we have to take the time as a filmmaker, as a story artist, and we have to develop this world. What does this world look like, and what are the rules of this world? In terms of what we're doing. Maybe when you're looking at like a technological movie or sci-fi movie, they have rules, right? In terms of how that world works. It's more based on logic, reality, in terms of what you're doing. Get some other water in here. Get the water spray, and we're just creating this, and it's like I said, a lot of concept artists do exactly what we're showing right now. They just sort of lay it out in terms of what we're doing, and sort of our idea of what we're trying to do, my friends, is, let's just say we're looking at that actual shot here, is all we're doing is we're starting up here. And all we want to do is use that pedestal shot, and all we're doing is that shot, we're just dropping it down. Or we can go the other way, where we started here, and that shot is going up to us and getting us into this world. I might add one more layer to, and this is what Ronnie was asking about earlier about tones, and how do I get that to work, Paul? Now we can sort of add that detail in there. Hey, Eric, we were just talking about you and about Shotless, and having people to come over and go visit your channel. I thought you have some great information there to share with folks. And I think it was it Barat? Barat was watching your video the other day, so that's cool. But welcome, Eric. Good to see you, buddy. So we're making this system over here. And like I said, a lot of concept artists will just do this. So I'll just add a little bit of detail, and then they'll just thicken up the breath. Nothing complicated. We're not trying to do a painting here. We're just trying to get this shot worked out here and just give the illusion of this castle by this waterfall system. And that's all we're trying to do. So we can go on to our next shot. And like I said, you have your thumbnail shots that are really sketchy that we were talking about. And the next step after that would be our roughs. My computer's a little slow here. So you can sort of see as we're going. So if we back out that image, we're sort of building this sort of rocky little city. Yeah, this is what I do, Eric. I just knock it out, and then I can go detail it. When we're talking about the storyboard process, what I'll do is I'll go do that like this to get my basic ideas going, and then I'll go grab some reference. Okay, because if I'm doing the Sleepy Hollow and I want it to be early America in terms of what I'm doing, I'll go and look up a bunch of footage or look up a bunch of ideas of what we, what I need. So I'll do the research after I drop the lines down. I would say I would submit this to sort of show what I'm doing, and like my shot is doing that pedestal shot, whether if I'm starting from the bottom or I'm working my way from the extreme wide angle shot to establish the geography, the environment, and maybe that pedestal shot will just drop down, and maybe down over here add a little white, and maybe our focus, maybe Ichabod is coming up this mountain here, and we'll show it something like this. Where there's some sort of step system. We were talking about the Dark Knight and how Batman was going into Ra's al Ghul's environment. And maybe he was on his horse going up into this this castle thing or whatever we're coming up with. But yeah, and so again, folks, what we're looking at is we're looking at a shot. Like I said, we start off with that extreme wide angle shot. Boom. We sort of establish the environment. We can have a few more shots in there too that we can add, have some fun with it. Then that pedestal shot drops down where we're trying to focus, and maybe we zoom into if we need to. Is I eventually want to go want to see Ichabod. I want to introduce our character. Usually for when you're introducing a character, we could cut into a wide shot, from there. When you're using an extreme wide angle shot, we're using that as our establishing shot. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to establish the environment. Like I said, it's every movie you're going to have some sort of establishing shot. It's establishing shots. The shots are going to be used for the introduction into your world. You usually see that as your exit of the world at the end of the movie, and you'll see it through transitions from scene to scene to scene, in terms of, okay, we're in this part of the story and our characters the story is moving to this geography. So you'll see those transitions. So that's where that establishing shot is being used, and then from there you go into your master shots to sort of set up the environment. So there is a difference between an extreme wide angle shot and a wide angle shot. So the wide angle shot, we're going to see that the subject or the character and how are they working through their environment. So let's go into that shot next in terms of what we're doing here. So we're going to go in here. And we want to see Ichabod. What's going on with Ichabod? We haven't introduced Ichabod yet. So maybe with Ichabod, maybe we pause it a little bit and we're sort of having fun with it. We're not going to show him right away. And so maybe we'll go in there. And I just want to see him, riding. We know he's going to be on a horse. And he's going to be riding. So maybe Ichabod, like I said, I use that gray to sort of set up our shot a little bit. Maybe there's we want to see that that water or whatever is going on here. Just coming up with this idea. Maybe we got the rump of the horse walking through. You can hear the clippity cloppity. Got the horse. Here's Ichabod's back. Maybe he has that Victorian look to him. Got the horse in the front. And we're sort of seeing the back of Ichabod. We'll go bring in our blacks. Lay that down real quick, sort of set up that shot. Remember, he's walking through that sort of cave system. Maybe he's going through some sort of tunnel here. We want to see the silhouette. Of Ichabod here as we're going through. So maybe behind him, go with that 50% gray. Gabby was talking about this. Maybe that waterfall water is behind us. As Ichabod's walking. Like we said, there's the water is falling over there. Go back to our blacks. Maybe we got some rock crevices. Over here as we're walking, so Ichabod is walking through. I hope everybody's having a good time tonight. I want the camera to be able to focus on Ichabod, so we're going to put him in white. So he sort of pops out right here. Yep. So he's riding the horse. He's clippity cloppity and clop, 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 clop. And maybe what we can do too is maybe we have just a lighter gray so it makes that white pop out on the horse. So the water's falling, so we're focusing on Ichabod. So your eye, one thing, story artist I like, Dan Milligan, if you've seen his work, I love his work and how he gets your eye to focus on a certain area. And for example, like I want you to focus on the horse and the rider in this shot. So maybe what I'll do is a little cheat. I'll go in there, turn this to black. I try to give you guys some cheats as I'm working too. So here I just added black. I want it to be really dark sequence. And I want that horse to pop out. So then all I need to do, you can see the eye for your viewer. We're focusing on the horse right here, where the rider, where we can see the rider and the horse. This would be Ichabod Crane. And he's riding, so your eye is focused on the horse. And maybe we just go in there. what we can just do is paint in the tail, a little bit of his mane, and that's sort of the focus of our shot. And we know in this shot that the feet are walking through. So again, let's see what's our time. 1 o'clock. I hope everybody, Ronnie. Hey Ronnie, thanks for stopping by. I'm looking forward to you watching the replay and doing some more artwork. I'm looking forward to seeing your artwork, Ronnie. So your artwork's been looking great. I know Gabby, Ronnie, Barat. I know a lot of people have been submitting their artwork to me. So thanks so much. Looking forward to once you get a chance to watch the replay. But it means a lot to me for you stopping by. Thanks so much. I'm trying to stay consistent in these time slots that we can get these great jam sessions going. I'm having fun with them. So again, and then Ronnie, just check out what we've talked about already. We went into a little bit of drawing instruction on top of what we're trying to do with this Sleepy Hollow sort of thing jam session that we have tonight with the Headless Horseman and Ichabod Crane. So again, we have our establishing shot, extra wide angle, and we're going to sort of do a pedestal drop down with the camera, and it's going to expose the rider. Maybe we can zoom in from there, have an extra shot, and then I cut to a shot of the rider Ichabod Crane. You got the water in the background, and the rider is walking. So maybe we get one more shot before we introduce Ichabod real quick. So now we come into that play that, let me see how we're going to do Ichabod. Maybe we have Ichabod coming into frame now. Maybe we have the horse first. And remember our horse that we were talking about? Whoops, what happened here? Boy, my pen is slow tonight. And what's beautiful about working digitally, folks, is that you can go and change whatever you want. Maybe that horse is coming into play. Ronnie said, I have to go back again, but I just wanted to stop by and really quick to say hi. Good luck with the rest of the stream. Have a good night. Thanks again, Ronnie. Thank you for joining us and popping in and saying hello. It means a lot to me that you were able to stop by. So I'll see you on the next live stream. We'll probably do one on Saturday night. So I know it's Lightbox weekend this weekend. So if you're going to Lightbox, have a good time. Share some feedback if you're going. Shout it out in the chat if you're going to Lightbox in Pasadena. If not, I will see you Saturday night about the same time. Thanks again, Ronnie. Okay, so let's get that horse in there. Get that, draw that horse. So we got Ichabod's horse going in here. We don't want to show him yet. He's riding his horse. It's here. He's got his bridle on. Got some crazy lines going on here now. So let's add those blacks in there. So we're not going to let Ichabod have a black horse, but we're going to just have him have a nice horse. Just a happy horse. Get some blacks in there. Horse is just walking. Got the ears going for the horse. Then we have Ichabod right here riding. Let's just add a little, have the focus on the horse. So then we would just knock out that background. I hope you guys are having a good time and you're drawing along. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me tonight. There we go. And let's do a little direction arrow. Usually in boards we do direction arrows or any type of movement in the camera. So with red, we have the horse going this way. Okay. So here again, we got this crazy castle system here. We started off with this shot here, and we're doing a pedestal drop down. Might do another zoom. I'll figure it out later, but we might zoom into the rider that we see off in the distance. We sort of got a full shot. We see our Ichabod Crane character on the horse. We don't know it's Ichabod yet, but we see a character on the horse, and the horse is walking across the screen as we're looking. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we want to introduce Ichabod. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's grab everything here that we've done so far. Let's introduce Ichabod. Just doing a little bit of organization here, so it makes it easier for me. So then what I can do is I can turn that off and turn it back on. Okay. Throw a little save on there, have a little bit of my drink. Hope everybody's having a good time. Thanks for those that are hanging with me as we're going through. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, please like and subscribe. Appreciate all the support as we're going through. Okay, so now we want to introduce our character. Okay, thinking of Ichabod. We're going to do a front-on shot of Ichabod. Let's get that gray tone in there. See what it's up with Ichabod. Okay. So there's a few different ways we can draw Ichabod. And let's get the pen going. Okay, so how I'm going to draw him. We're going to do a medium shot or something like that. we're going to, when you're thinking of characters and when you're designing them, I really didn't pre-design Ichabod. You know, if you're looking at I think that the Disney version, just real quick, he sort of had a triangle head like that. The Disney version, and this is the Disney version of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And then he had this huge honking nose. This was the Disney version. Okay, and then he sort of my stylus is so slow today. Okay, here we go. And I guess he had his hair head like that, and then he had his I guess this is early America's colonial time. So then he had that stork sort of thing. This is hard to remember how he did that. Okay, and then he sort of had a bow type of thing. And a lot of you had asked to do like a version of like a cartoon style. I believe it looks something like that, if my memory serves me right. For the Ichabod and Mr. Toad that came out in 1949. It was something like that. Anyways, well, that's not going to be our character, but this would be something where you're sticking on the Ichabod character. That's sort of funny. Okay, so let's. Sort of hide that. That's not what we're doing. So let's create. Okay, so I think I went off on a tangent there, but my sort of point was this: is that as you're creating compositions or character designs, circles or sort of smooth, happy squares are more forceful, strong, or they can be limited in boxing in terms of your composition. Triangles are sharp, and maybe that what we were talking about with Ichabod Crane from the Disney side is that maybe he's more like a triangle. He's sharp, and maybe the metaphor was not sharp like it's going to hurt somebody, but maybe sharp with intelligence. Okay? And where our Headless Horseman, his body might be more of a square because it's more of a stronger character like that. And I know in the Ichabod Mr. Toad 1949 Disney film, they had a female character in there. So you would have the softness and the circularness of the female character for what you're trying to do. So anyway, those are some of the basic design principles when we're sitting there looking at our characters. So I'm still going to play with that idea of the triangle, but let's do it just a tad different. Okay, so this is going to be the first time that we're going to see that character. So remember we were talking about the profile of the horse and how we can simply do a quick little cheat to draw that horse. So let's do that real quick. Okay, remember it was a circle that we had a couple lines in there. like that. Okay, with this line here, we had the horse's eyes. Okay, and then down over here, and this is where that drawing that we were talking about comes into play. In terms of Ichabod's horse. Boy, my pen is a little slow tonight. Holy smoke. So maybe that was Ichabod's horse here. We could also do is shrink that down a little bit. The horse is walking doot to doot to doot to doot. Walking through the scene. Okay, and then we want to have Ichabod in there. Okay, so then we were talking about Ichabod. Let's go ahead and turn the layer in there. Let's think about that character. We can shrink his head down, but we were talking about the triangle, whether it be that way or that way. Okay, so let me start off by just drawing. Let's see how I'm going to draw Ichabod. He's not going to have any facial hair. Give him a chin. He's going to be a little bit more scaredy cat looking guy. I think let's get him. We're going to have fun with him with the big ears. Just sort of having fun with him. I don't know if I want to. There's a lot of expression with hair. Maybe we'll still give him the ponytail. He's got the jacket. Okay, so there's our character right there. Hope everybody's doing good. We're just sort of having fun. Having our jam session here. Maybe what I can do real quick is just get a little duplicate layer. So I have that for later. Okay. And then let's go ahead and shrink him and put him on this horse now, because we're establishing that character. Oops. We're going to have him riding the horse. Okay. There. His horse is going to have its head down too. Just sort of a weaker position here. Get rid of these. circles here. Triangles. Okay, so we got sort of our setup here. So let's have some fun with this. I'm going to lighten up the horse a little bit. And let's go ahead and finish drawing Ichabod. And all I'm doing right now is creating more of a side profile. Of our horse here. So we got what we're doing here. A little bit. Appreciate everybody hanging with me. Just keeping it simple as we're going. Ichabod is going to be holding the reins of the horse. Here. Okay, so we got Ichabod coming into this shot. As we can see here. Drop a little bit of the grays behind him because he's sort of the focus, so let's go get that in there. Storyboarding's I love storyboarding. I love telling stories. I love what we're trying to do here. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of thinking. You know, when you're creating this stuff from scratch, I have a lot of respect for artists that are literally just coming up. And this is why I practice this way a lot too. There's a lot of respect for folks that are just creating this stuff. You'll find this in some of your animated series shows. Some of these productions on the animation side, you're literally, the storyboard artist is creating the story, and I practice this way a lot too. I work off a lot of scripts, you know, of other people's writings, but also I write my own scripts too, and I sort of do this exercise to sort of have some fun. Just to see, just let it go. You know, I'm not really planned out friends, and we're just sort of telling stories of what we're doing here. And it just makes it fun. I have a good time. You know, with this with you, it gives me good practice too. And you get to follow along. So I challenge everybody to do it like this too, you know. As you're going through and you're learning how to storyboard, is being able to have fun creating these stories. I remember when I was back in college, I did a lot of filmmaking and directing and video production, and we had to come up with these projects all the time. So in a quarter system in California, you were having to create all these different stories just on your, and you had to create these things in a quarter. And so by doing that, by using this type of exercises, oops, uh, did I lose everything? I hope I did. I think I did. Okay, now we're going still. That's awesome. So, anyways, by doing this, it just gave you the experience of writing your own stories. And so, like I said, I challenged myself doing it this way. Let's do a quick save on here. Save. So I don't lose anything. Okay. And remember, I'm trying to get that cave system in here. You get into your zone as you're drawing. We have Ichabod here. So I can do this real quick. Get sort of the idea of what we're doing here. Okay, so we got Ichabod coming into frame, and let's get in and get a close-up of Ichabod in terms of what we're doing here. So let's go grab that. We had an earlier frame that we did a copy of. Where did I put that guy? That was a copy of 26. Okay, so I'm going to grab that frame here that I made a copy. And this is what's great about working digitally, is that we can sort of get a closer shot of Ichabod here and play with that. Get rid of the triangles, because we want to show Ichabod. Maybe he's scared, maybe there's something up, and we can come back to this shot again. And then what we can do, drop another frame in there. You know, it'd be sort of fun. We're going to use this shot a bit, I think. So let's make another copy of this. Duplicate that one more time. What I think would be sort of funny is maybe Ichabod is whistling. Like, let's get that down. Let's put some musical notes, and he's whistling. Okay, we're having fun with this. Okay. Hope you guys are still out there having fun, drawing along. Doing a little bit more than just thumbnails right now. Adding these tones takes a little bit longer. But I hope everybody's having a good time, a good night, learning, creating together, drawing, practicing those drawing skills in terms of what we're doing. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I like this. Ichabod's right there. Like I said, yeah, got the notes. Keeps us focused right there. Get a little bit on Ichabod's jacket so he pops a little bit. And there's Ichabod going. He's whistling, keeping himself company there. And then what we can do with this shot too, which would be sort of interesting, is let me just do a go like this. Maybe another little cheat here we could do. Is we can grab this shot here so we don't have to recreate everything. Copy that. Oops. That's not what I was trying to do. And we can grab that shot again because we're going to have him look the other way too. And just throw that on there. Okay, so we have him looking this way. And then what I would do is come in there with some white. We're going to change, oops, pen tool. as he's turning his head. Get rid of the notes over here. What we're going to do is have him look the opposite way. Because he's looking all around. He is scared. Maybe the musical, he's humming. Okay, back to this page here. So far we got Ichabod writing, da-ba-da, cloppity clop, cloppity clop, cloppity clop. Starts whistling. Looks one way. Looks the opposite way. You know he's a little nervous. You can signify that too. We can have a little bead of sweat coming off of him too, to signify that Ichabod's getting a little nervous there, you know. And you could also do fun things like he's nervous, you know what I mean. You could put some shake in there or something like that. Cool. So we'll keep going. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to the. You know, you could the other thing we could do too is do some insert shots of Ichabod scared, and instead of having this particular shot here, we could pull this shot down and do an insert shot in this section right there, and you know, we can, you know, he's looking at different things as he's walking by, and maybe there's something that startles him or something like that. And let's see what we can do on that shot. There's different ways you can do it. You can either do it like that, or we could actually just have left it where we had it. So in a sense, he's looking, you know, either direction right now. And there's all different things you can do to focus on that. Maybe we could even go back to that original shot we grabbed, that we did the screen grab of. We could even, you know, you can get even closer with that screen, you know, because that extreme close-up and get that in there. Whoops, where'd that go? There it is. Like I said, we get that extreme close-up. There's something really bugging him. Gabby, I'm glad you're having fun. This is great. I'm looking forward. And that's what's fun about storyboarding, is we can do whatever we want here. We're testing out. I know I'm spending a little too much time because we're pretty detailed in terms of what we're doing. But I'm having fun, and as long as you're having fun, we'll keep going. Okay. So we're here with that shot. Okay, so let's trim that shot up a little bit. Because we want our character, remember the close-up, or extreme close-up, is, you know, we're usually focused on the eyes in terms of our subject. And we could even get even closer terms of what we're trying to do. Oops, what happened here? So let's even get even closer to those eyes, into the window of the soul. See one up. Let's really dig in there. I hope everybody's having fun, getting some work in our jam session. Okay. Let's get that back. Okay, so that gives us a little bit here of what we're playing with, and we can bounce the eyes back and forth if that's what we want to do. Have some fun with it. So if you look at it, Ichabod's coming. You know, he's looking back and forth, he's looking closer, or even before we do that, we can throw in some sort of other shot too of, you know, trees are bending, something's going on. Okay, so let's grab all the frames, clear off our system here, friends. So that we can see it. Okay, so again, from the top, we sort of showed that we have a shot that we're on a pedestal, dropping the frame down. We're establishing some sort of village on the side of a cliff of a waterfall. And as we move down the screen, we see our character on a horse, cloppity clopping. Horse is coming into frame. And as we're coming into frame, we get our first glimpse of our character, Ichabod Crane, coming into frame. Ichabod's looking to his right, our left, whistling Dixie and keeping himself occupied. Looks to his left, our right, looks the other way, still whistling, but a little bit shaking a little bit. Looks back to his right. He might have heard something. Okay. And we can either go close up to the ear or whatever. We can have some fun with this as he's getting in there. Okay. So let's go on to our next page, our next panel, frame. Now we got to figure out what's going on. Okay. Maybe he's looking, and let's say, what are we going to play like this? What would be over there? Okay. I'm trying to think of what creature would be over there. Okay, so he's got the waterfall. He's looking over to the right. He needs to see some sort of, I know the typical thing. Maybe he sees some sort of owl. Maybe he sees some sort of owl in the tree. Yeah, maybe he sees like some sort of owl in the tree. We get some sort of owl up there. Got some sort of horned owl or whatever. A little bit more color in here. Keeping it simple here, and then let's get some sort of quickie background. On here. This is where those simple tones come into play. We can just knock this stuff out. I don't fall in love with these drawings either because I might be working with the director. And they're like, oh, I don't like this shot. Let's do something a little different. We go, okay. Delete and go it again. So here, and maybe that. My computer is slow doing these live streams. Oops. Tonight. Okay, so it was he was scared there, our Ichabod Crane, and so let's go back and snag that. Hope I don't need to do it like that. How about I do it? Okay, so here he's hooting, and maybe we can grab that shot again of Ichabod. We'll cut back to him again. We're establishing this character. Okay, maybe he's not whistling this time. Okay, he's sort of just, he saw that I was there. And then what we could do with this shot is grab that shot one more time, drop that down. The other thing I can do too is I could edit, transform, let's horizontal on it. And maybe what we can do is he's going to smile and laugh that this was no big deal. He made a bigger deal out of it than he should have. So let's have fun with that. Okay, so I'm going to take away this expression. These eyes, we're not going to have them so worried. Okay. Let's turn that back a little bit. Maybe we get in there. Give him a little a smirk, a smile, something like that. I hope everybody's having a great time. I'm having fun myself. It's almost, 2 in the morning over here for me. And so we got Ichabod here. He's sort of smiling. Like, ha 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 ha, no big deal. I'm not scared of this. And then what I can do is, oh, it was just a, it was just a friendly old owl. Ha 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 ha. So you sort of have that. He's not scared. And then we can go back to our shot. Because he's back to normalcy. Oh, but I didn't grab the shot well enough. Okay, let's throw a save on it so we're not losing anything. Save. Let's grab these images here that we've done so far. So I want to grab that top shot. Let's grab that shot right there. So I'm just gonna do a screen grab real quick of that particular shot. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna put it bottom here on this panel. So we want to continue that smile in this shot here. He's going to finish that action there. So he's going to keep writing, okay? Hope everybody's following along fine. Hope you're having a good time. We've gotten quite a few frames drawn these shots as we're doing a little bit of storytelling here. We're developing our character. So if you're thinking about, there's so much thinking into storyboarding, and we're trying to get our two-dimensional character to act, our Ichabod Crane. We're doing emotions. We're trying all sorts of things to keep this going and have some fun with it. And I think here on this shot, let's what we can do is let's transition Ichabod here. Let's transition him into the next little sequence or whatever we're going to have him go into, because everything is going fine. And we have him in this shot here on his horse, and he's continuing to ride. Maybe he we can do this in a different shot. Maybe it's a full shot, excuse me, and we have him riding off into the distance a little bit to show some passage of time or passage of depth in the shot of what we're trying to do. So but let's cut the scene. What we can do here is we want to transition this scene to show passage of time. So let me go and just make a black box there. So we're going to transition into the next shot. And with this shot, I was thinking that, you know, and we were talking about, let me cut this down a little bit, because we were talking about mapping and mapping the character and showing where's the course, where's the character going. And maybe this is the sequence that this is our big, you know, our big panels of showing the Headless Horseman. So I sort of want to get to that real quick and stuff, because I know we've been going for about 2 hours right now, and I'm getting a little tired. It's about 2 in the morning, but I want to get into the Headless Horseman a little bit. So let's think of this. We're looking at a bird's eye view, and we're looking at the mapping of what we're trying to do here. So we have a couple different things that we want to do, and use some different, you know, colors here. So I'm going to indicate yellow is going to be Ichabod. Okay, so you got Ichabod. And then on top of Ichabod, and that's Ichabod on the horse, right? Come on, computer. That's interesting. Let me see what happened. Okay, so Ichabod is there. And I'm going to signify another circle. We're going to make this one red. And this will be the horseman, okay? So maybe the pathway that both these characters are on is maybe there's some sort of trail, something like that. So we're thinking of, you know, how do we work these characters, looking at a top down, how are they going to interact with each other? Okay, maybe it's something as simple as that. Okay. And say we have Ichabod here is ahead of the Headless Horseman. The Headless Horseman is going to be back there, and they're going to be chasing each other. Okay. And then on top of this is going to be like the tree line. Maybe there's a group of trees. These are all bushes and trees, and maybe here there's some sort of tree that went down or something like that. Oops. And maybe that tree that went down is about right here somewhere, and then maybe down further. Just we have trees everywhere. There's trees throughout the forest. This is sort of our map. Okay, it's really simple, it's rudimentary. And then maybe right here. This is our infamous covered bridge. That's here. And this is the covered bridge. And maybe there is, underneath the covered bridge, there's some sort of stream that goes through here. In terms of our map of with the water. Okay. And our characters are moving through this space, and this is where we're going to sort of end up. Okay. And pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to start them off. And this is good to think out, you know, and you don't even have to go. Maybe he goes around the tree. he has to hop over or whatever. They're trying to get out that bridge, you know, in terms of what we're doing. So this is, in a sense, is a small version of, and it's very simple, just mapping of what we're trying to do in this. Sort of looking at it as a bird's eye view, and this is what's going to go on within these shots in this sequence. Okay, so moving on, let's go and let's get, okay, because this was supposed to be a black screen here. Oh, there's our dots I was looking for. Okay, this was supposed to be our fade screen. Fades back in. Okay, and then we're trying to establish this next area that Ichabod's going to be walking into. So remember, we've got a new environment. We're trying to get this new environment going. Maybe this new environment, maybe we have a in this new environment we have like a he's going into a graveyard or something like that. Come on, computer, you're so slow today. And he's going into some graveyard system. We keep it really rough and simple through here. We're just drawing the graveyard right now that Ichabod's going to be going through. Maybe there's a pathway through here. I'm not doing anything super complicated. We're keeping it pretty simple. Just shape, tone. Making this up as we go along. Oops. And a layer in there real quick. We're just keeping this simple. We got another wide angle shot. Okay, so we sort of made a quick little graveyard scene here. I hope everybody's having fun. Remember, if you're enjoying this and you're hanging tough with us and enjoying all the drawing, please don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get Ichabod into this shot a little bit here. Let's add him in. And we were looking at our mapping and stuff. I know I had sort of a forest scene, but let's get at least a shot in there so we can introduce our Headless Horseman. The other thing too, we had that little trick we did with the other shot here. We grabbed the area like that, we threw an extra layer on it. Threw a layer of black, boom. And then we can go in there and show our. So Gabby's saying, I'm doing this traditionally. Cool, I'm glad you're having fun. Cool. So we're gonna show sort of this path. Oops, what happened to everything? Try that again. Path that Ichabod's going to be walking on. And then I was thinking maybe it's getting the moonlight. So we've showed passing of time a little bit. Okay. And let's get our, oops. Let's get I cannot believe how slow this computer is. Oh my goodness. Let's get our guy here. Ichabod. Okay, and here's Ichabod here. And then what I can do, I can just add some white around him because we want to focus on him right now. And if it's Mr. Frog or whatever he's going through, and so we're watching him, and all we're going to do is tell he's walking through that scene. Okay? Then what we'll do, grab all these shots. Okay, I'm going to go back to this sequence. I'm going to grab this shot here. He's going to be walking through that graveyard. But he's not going to be all smiles and giggles. And then what we're going to do, He's going to be nervous again as he's walking through. And instead of having this sort of background here real quick, he doesn't have that environment anymore. He's going to have the gravestones. So add some of this. Background here. Okay, there we go. So we changed up the environment a little bit. He's walking through. He's nervous again. Add another shot in here, but something's going to be different. So let's go ahead and let's introduce our main attraction, the Headless Horseman. And so we have a close-up here of the ground. And then let's go behind this. Let's grab that color here. Oops. Cancel. Let's grab that color again. Grab a big brush. Let's go ahead and add that in there. And then what we'll do is we'll get our, change our color a little bit here. We have our Headless Horseman's horse. That's right here. Maybe we hear, maybe it makes a sound. Clop, clop. Go in there. And a little bit of shadow. Horse is right there. Okay, so clop, clop. So we're doing pretty good here. I hope everybody's hanging in. Let's get a shot of that Headless Horseman. Throw a save on this. Trying to think of what our next shot would be. Okay, so we got that. I want to go back to the face of our character. So where did I put that? Let's grab that shot. Let's see which one. We're going to do a little filmmaking technique here, so let's drop that in. Let's edit. What we'll do is we're going to have him over here in the scene, like that. Gabby, I can't wait to see your drawings and whoever else is drawing. This is going to be fun. I got to try to finish this up real quick. Do a couple more shots and that's it for tonight. Because it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning for me. And I have to be back at work tomorrow. Okay, so let's get him over here. And what we're doing in this shot, I don't need to have him whistling. Whoops. But what I'm trying to do is box him into the corner of the frame. And what I'm trying to do with that is like he's trapped. He's got to watch out. He's trapped. Okay. So then what we'll do, get him back over there. Okay. And we're going to cut this out here. Grab this color picker. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up, Gabby. Let's get this. Let's see our. Okay, so we have our guy here, Ichabod. Draw a quick pull. Not bad for 3 o'clock in the morning and hustling down some art. What I love about what we do here as story artists is this is an awesome profession, and I don't mind putting the time in. Okay. He's going to be... Let's sort of go right here, Dutch angle here. Trying to think of how we're going to do this shot. Remember our little sequence of how to draw the horse with the lines. This is our first shot of the Headless Horseman. Maybe he has his pumpkin here. Get a little bit of orange on him. Those red eyes on the horse. We just finally got to introduce the Headless Horseman here. And then what we can do is they got the we're going to block this in. Here we have our first shot of the Headless Horseman here, and maybe the moon is behind him to showcase him. See how that would look. Oops. This mysterious fog or whatever. Oops. Mysterious fog. And he's shocked. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's I had that shot that I drew. Headless Horseman. Earlier. So I'm gonna screen and grab that real quick. Look at that one more time. I'll go like that. Throw that down real quick. And we're going to throw that into our mix here. We've covered a lot tonight, friends. I think the other thing too is that we want a Dutch angle because this is just crazy time for Ichabod. I don't think Ichabod knows what he got himself into on this one. Don't lose your head, Ichabod. So we have the Headless Horseman with all of his glory. Grab this color. And we'll do our so we have the Headless Horseman with all of his glory here. Okay. Cool, Gabby. We're almost done there. 'Cause I gotta call it a night. I am so tired, but we're having fun knocking this stuff out. Okay. Okay, we got that. Let's do another thing. It's from that graveyard area. Just quickly throwing down our color. Shock and awe here. Got that. Okay, we're rolling here. And let's get one more. Let me throw a save on here. I'm going to do one more shot. And then we'll play it all, look at it real quick, and call it a night. I hope everybody's having fun. Can't wait to see what your work looks like. Number 5. Okay. So what I want to say... Yep. What's the shot I'm looking for? Oh, I have it over here. So let's go like this. Let's grab this shot. One more shot of Ichabod just freaking out. See? Let's get this going. Scale this guy. Okay. Transform, let's go horizontal. Like that. Okay, let's finish this up real quick. Don't need the notes. Get a bigger brush. Get this filled in. Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit of white here. Okay, let's get some black. Poor Ichabod. Okay. Poor Ichabod. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's start our story. Let's recap of what we got going on, phone. Let's get... Holy smoke, what a lot of work to do tonight. I appreciate everybody hanging tough. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Doing some great drawings over here. But let's start off. Let's look at our boards of what we created tonight. We went over a lot of different things tonight. We talked about some basic storyboarding tips and tricks and things like that. We talked about how to draw using simple shapes, that you don't need to be very complicated. We talked about, you know, telling your stories with silhouettes and basic drawings. We went into how to draw horses for this particular storyboard scene we were working on. But let's look at all that hard work now that we've been putting together. And it's only been, I think, about 3 hours or so. And let's talk about it. Okay, so we start off with this shot. And we sort of have this waterfall background of the town or the city that's on the edge of a cliff. We're pedestaling down, and then we sort of zoom in into this rider going up the trail in this particular village area. We have the waterfall in the background, and then we have the horse clomping, and we have our main character clomping on the horse, and he's going through the catacombs or whatever it is. We get a close-up of the horse walking across the frame, and we see we're introduced to Ichabod Crane for the first time, and he's traveling along by himself. Okay, and we're going to establish his emotional state. He looks like he's a little worried. He's whistling as he's clippity-cloppeting by. He looks to his right, our left, and then he looks to his left, our right, as he's whistling through. And we get a close-up. Is our next shot here. And he's still whistling, and he looks very, very nervous. Okay. And then all of a sudden, when he looked, he saw an owl up in the tree. Hoot, 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 hoot. And he looks over there one more time after he's done looking at his perspective shot, and sort of chuckles it off. Ha, 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 ha. It was just an owl, not a big deal. I'm fine. He smiles as he's still on the path on his horse, clippity-cloppeting away. And then we did a transition, or a fade in, fade out, and now we go to a new establishing shot. We created this graveyard scene, and our character is slowly moving across from the left side of the shot to the right side, and going through this graveyard. We got not a lot of ton of detail, but we know it's a graveyard. We got all sorts of crosses and headstones and angels, and he's walking through. He still looks a little nervous as he's walking through the graveyard. Doop, 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 doop. And all of a sudden he hears clop, clop. These ominous dark hooves are clopping in the distance. Then, all of a sudden, he looks to his right and looks behind him, and there is the folklore of the Headless Horseman. He's got his pumpkin head on his side. He's in the fog and the mist, and oh my goodness gracious, And we could do all sorts of things with this shot, And so, and it's what a great shot. This is, so simple, but so great. We got we got a lot going on in this shot. A lot of detail, a lot of storytelling going on in this shot. So the Headless Horseman appears, Ichabod, and then we get the Headless Horseman in all of his glory. His stallion is raising hell. You got the pumpkin. He's got his sword out, and looks like he's coming for Ichabod Crane. Then we get the panic shock of Ichabod Crane going, oh my goodness gracious, what is this, the end of me or not? So, that's great. I love it. And we ended in our Halloween fun that we're even having right now. We got some crimson red, and we would go get a stylist here. And let's just say 2 be continued. Boom, boom, boom. Oh man, I hope everybody, you guys all had a really fun time tonight. I had a good time too, and thanks for spending your time with me, um, storyboarding with the theme of the tale of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman, and I hope you had a really good time. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please give a like. Please share this live stream out with other folks. I really appreciate everybody taking the time, especially our friends out there that took the time to say hello, like Ronnie popping in real quick. Gabby was here, Barat. I look forward to seeing everybody's work. I thank Eric. I thank everybody. Andreas. There's so many folks that jumped onto the stream. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you do like the Halloween and sort of horror themes that we've been playing with, maybe we'll do another one on Saturday. I know it's Lightbox Expo on Saturday, and if you're going, please share some photos of you having a good time over there. One of these days, I'd love to go over there and present or do something over there. That'd be fun. So again, everybody have a great night. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next live stream. Again, have a great night and take care all. Let's talk to you soon.